Hmm. There's Anna. Chad's on the road.
Yeah. Hands on
Yeah.
the wheels.
Oh, there's Marion. Um,
After Monday, Chad won't be on the road for months.
oh, good for you. And where are you driving today,
Thank.
Chef Chad?
I left Florida this morning. I'm headed back to my parents in Texas, and then I finally fly back to Ecuador Monday. So
Okay,
I'll be home. Yeah.
cool. Hmm. Hello to everyone. Welcome to our BCE. And Danielle, good to see you. How you doing? How's your little one?
He's good. He turned a year just a couple
Wow.
days ago.
Wow. Good for you. Yeah. Um, all right. So welcome to our BCE. So David and Karen is our wonderful hosts. We're marking, I think it's 5 years of doing these BCEs. It's pretty amazing. It's been on this long since the pandemic. Um, and we followed the same kind of format. These are always free. They're always kind of dealing with things related to what we teach. We've sort of abandoned our formal structure, although today's topic does relate quite well to the shadow. So if you came interested in shadow work, you'll be happy. Um, is there anybody who's here for the first time? Karen, welcome. And where are you calling from today?
Franklin, Tennessee. And thank you for having me. And to Michelle, who let me know about this.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. My college roommate was from Franklin, Tennessee,
Oh,
and yeah, wonderful. So just for you, Karen, we just run these as very sort of not, let's say casual, informal sessions. They usually involve a bit of guided meditation and a topic, and then we spend a large amount of our time in small groups, sort of sharing what that guided meditation revealed to us. So, so I'm going to put up the slide so I can introduce the topic for today. And it would help if I actually, here we go. Oh, now I have to stop looking for it because it doesn't recognize it. So we'll try again. Hold on. You'd think I hadn't done this 1,000 times. Let's try again. There it is. Okay. So, it's always sort of a mystery to me. Usually couple of weeks before we get to the BCEs, I just sort of sit in meditation and sort of allow myself to receive what feels important to talk about. And uh, we've just launched our next Guiding Lights retreat. And so this whole notion of light was on my mind. And I was at a period for a whole bunch of reasons I won't go into, where if I were a candle, I'd have maybe the wick left and nothing else. And and I thought, and the world kind of feels like that sometimes right now, particularly for those folks who are in the US. And I started to think about how well, from a shadow perspective, I always considered myself a highly resilient person. So I got to sort of experience what it's like when there's no resilience, when there's nothing left in the tank at all. And I found that a very disheartening and uncomfortable experience, as all shadow encounters are. And then I thought, but if I'm to not stay here, I might want to pay attention to what it's showing me. And so I embarked on this sort of journey to begin to think about what do we do when our candle's not doing well, or our candle's about out, or the wind is strong, or we lost our matches, or we don't like the scent. And so I wanted to just talk a bit about the notion of when our candle is not doing well, it often exposes things that are what Jung would call our shadow. Like who are we shining for? What keeps us from stopping and putting out our own candle to just let ourselves rest? Where do we shine our light and where do we not? What are we seeing and what are we not? And so I came up with one of the remembered one of the slides that we used often in our programs, which felt like a really fitting um, image for this. And we're going to do a little meditation about this photograph in a minute. And one of the things that's the hallmark of narrative coaching in particular is that we spend a lot of time recognizing that we're not chasing what's known, we're actually trying to be present to what's not known yet. Part of why we don't set goals is because we don't have a sense often that we can be certain of what we're really looking for until we actually start the journey. And that journey is going to take us into some unknown places. And so we live in a time in the world in which, for many of us, at least in many of our generations, we're in a time that we can't even fathom, let alone know what we're supposed to do with. And it's called into question so many things about our. And so I thought it would just be a really wonderful time to begin to meditate briefly on this on this photograph. So I'm going to bring it around again in using the kind of shape of our usual meditation. So we work a lot with our breath to use our out and in breath to kind of help us notice different things about what we're focusing on. And so I just want to briefly explain the graphic and then I want to actually do this together. So as I was sitting with this, sort of this notion of breathing out, if we breathe out, it literally blows the feather back up in the air. But um, it also sort of allows us to relax our hand. Otherwise, we might be kind of trying to grasp the feather. And then when we breathe in, we sort of relax our hand maybe and let the feather let just be there. And so part of the tension that we feel when in times like these is we want to grasp for things. We wish they were more certain. We wish there was more obvious things to do. We wish most of it would go away. And there's a lot of grasping, or we feel like we don't want to deal with shadow energy that's coming up in ourself. And so I thought it's sort of an odd metaphor, but because we often think of the shadow as dark and scary, but in reality, it's just energy we don't know what to do with. And so this notion of the feather and letting it be light and just float and just sort of be with it feels like um, an important skill to have right now. Otherwise, we start hyperventilating or holding our breath or things that are not going to serve us very well. So we're going to do a little brief meditation now, and then we're going to do a bigger one in a couple of minutes that this sort of builds on. Okay? So what I'd like to invite you to do, you don't need the photo because I'll take care of that for all of us, but if you would just close your eyes just for a minute. Um, and just allow yourself to settle into the floor. You can feel all your weight being held up by the floor through your feet, your chair, the air around you. And as you breathe out, you might hold out your hand and just imagine it's just pacing the feather. It's light. There's no effort to hold it up. Fingers are relaxed. Just let go. Let the feather fall. And as you breathe in, you might notice what would it be like to lift your hand a bit to meet the feather. And so you're in this dance with with the feather. So your in and out breath are keeping the feather sort of suspended there. And notice if there's any sense of grasping, any part of your body that wants to hold onto the feather. And just notice that and breathe out and let it go again. And as we do this to warm up, it's in beginning to help us recognize that often when we feel out of sorts, uncomfortable, exhausted, it's often because we've been trying to grasp too hard at things, particularly things that are contrary to what actually is. So I want to just use this as a beginning of a warm up to begin to get a feel for, in this moment that we're in as a species, as a planet, as a people, for ourselves. I want you just to notice any place in you where your fire or the light feels low, the candle feels maybe almost gone. Can you allow yourself to feel that and hold that just as lightly as you were holding the space with the feather? And if it's not an experience that you can feel in yourself today, that's fine. But who do you know around you that might be feeling this way? And or when you open your eyes to the world, maybe you notice the world kind of feels this way, even if you don't. All right. So what I'm going to invite you to do now is just open your eyes and come back to the room. If you have anything you'd like to share, just put a few notes in the chat box just to get your voice into the room, and then I'm going to guide us through the second half of our meditation for today. And if you have any questions or things you'd like to ask, you can do that as well, and Karen will notice those for us before we move into the other half. Hmm. Hmm. All right.
Thank you, Veronica and Fiona, for the comments.
Yeah. Hmm. All right. So what I would like you to do is, if you wouldn't mind, just so that you or others are not distracted, is I'd like you to invite you to turn off your camera. And you can just relax and not worry about anything. And I've put a slide up on the screen, which you should be able to see using one of our now famous phrases. And what I would like you to do is just to quietly meditate on your own using the candle. Many of you will have gone to retreats with this, where you're studying with kind of a soft gaze, an object in the front of the room or in front of you, as sort of a meditative device. So um, I could have put up a photo of a candle that was gone, but then it'd just be a black screen, so it would kind of lose the point. So I picked a candle that has served well, but is nearly done. And I just want to use that as a metaphor. It may or may not literally relate to you at all, but I want to use it as a metaphor for beginning to allowing ourselves to feel perhaps some new things about this time. Recognize, starting to sense what do each of us need most right now to nourish ourselves, to care for ourselves, what shadow energy would be really helpful to us, to help us be in this time differently. And so, if I just use myself as an example, I'm making some choices to provide much better care for myself as a novel kind of concept. And so I'm just going to be quiet. And I'll set the timer for 5 minutes. And I'm just going to invite you to just notice the screen in whatever way is important to you. If that's distracting for you, you can also just close your eyes and I'll give us a little warning when we're about to come back into the room. But just sit with the analogy of a candle that's almost gone and allow it to speak to you. We're not here to analyze it. We're not here to overinterpret it. We're here to receive it, to say, what is it here for? How might it speak to each of us something that would be true and important for us? And so just allow it as you would in meditation to see what comes up for you. Okay? And if at any point your camera's off, you want to take notes or whatever, please do. All right? So off we go. Mm. Right. Just would like to invite you to relax and open your eyes whenever you're ready. And I'd like to just give you a couple of minutes if you would like to take any notes for yourself. Please do anything that emerged for you just so you capture that. And while you're doing that, Karen will set up some breakout rooms.
How much time would you like, David, in the breakout?
I would like to give them, we have groups of 3 or 4, and I'd like to give them 30 minutes.
Okay.
Mm. So as you spend time in your small group, I thought you might appreciate the next slide. So I'm just going to invite you when you enter your room just to, if you, just to speak to whatever feels important to you. That can be as little or as much as you would like. And really, it's not so that everyone will understand you, but that you feel a chance to bring voice to whatever you discovered about our candle and yourself. Okay? Are we all set, Karen?
We are. So in the
Okay.
rooms, you can speak to whatever's important and take this this message that it's not seeking to be understood, but just to speak plainly and clear. Yes.
Wonderful.
Okay, I'm going to open it
Enjoy.
up. Enjoy.
Out
There
past
you
its time, which can be important at times.
go. There we go. Here comes everybody. All their smiling faces. Oh, wonderful. Welcome to all the people that snuck in towards the very end. Chad's still on the road, I see.
The
Um,
long drive.
yeah.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah. So I just want to use this time to see what the candle had to offer you. And Shayla, are you going to speak?
Sure. Well, it's kind of, I don't want to steal
Thank you so much.
Mila's metaphor because I thought it was so good. I really want to say it though. It wasn't me.
You're gonna do it
You
anyways.
do want to
You know,
steal it.
I
Okay.
do want to steal it because it was awesome. And she was
That's your
talking-
shadow. You really do.
That's right. I'm
There
gonna
you
take it. No.
Take it.
We were talking about campfire. Like, do you add more fuel to the flame and stay longer, or is it time to let it burn out?
Hmm.
And that choice between is this moment enough? Like adding to it may not make it better, just longer.
Hmm.
Or do we need to extinguish the fire so it doesn't burn down the forest?
Well, that's
Yeah.
your other option. You can wait it out, you can add more fuel, or you can, so you have three choices, but often we don't choose. We just let it
No.
go. Anyway, I had no responsibility for that, but I'm it was brilliant. Thank you.
But you liked it.
I
Well,
liked it.
all,
Yeah.
all good ideas need fans, right? So
Yeah.
without fans, the ideas just don't go anywhere. So you
Right.
now have you're a fangirl for Mila, so that's
I
good.
am. That's right.
Excellent.
I
Fiona.
love this work so much. I would, Fiona has got her hand up. I share too much, but go ahead, Fiona.
No, you go finish your thought.
But no, it's way longer than just a single thought. But go ahead.
Robert thinks in beautiful paragraphs.
Okay. Hi, David.
Hey.
In the group, before we got into the group, I was thinking about my meditation as I was looking into that candle. And in your candle, there may have been a little bit left of the candle, but what I was looking at was the flame.
Okay.
And the flame was flickering. And you know how sometimes in certain environments, those flickers or the ember, like it's just like dancing and it's all crazy and just a lot of wind going on. And as I was looking at that, I saw my flicker just kind of crazy with movement. And then I recognized and I shared with the ladies that this exercise of the breathing in and out just helped me calm that flame. That I'm responsible for how ferocious that that ember goes, right? Or not the ember, but so just thank you for bringing it back down to kind of center and calm.
Thank you. Robert, what would you like to share?
I'll go ahead and go. I love this work so much because it's so relevant to everything that I've gone up to this time. I shared in the chat that I've incorporated in my morning meditation more recently, at least aspirationally every morning, but that I incorporated as part of my warm up as putting the attention on my breath and doing the traditional 4 count of in and out breath. But the mantra is on the in breath, it breathes me. And the out breath is I breathe through it. And I'll do that 3 or 4 breaths and then shift into what's called the small universe meditation. I'm not sure exactly what the origin of that is, but it involves the cycle of the breath, bringing the breath up from the center of the earth through the body and wrapping it around the third eye chakra, and then taking a brief pause to sort of appreciate that transition, release the breath into the solar realm, the great whatever out there, and then putting my physical breath back down through the body, returning it to center. And that the coordinating that with it breathes me, I breathe through it, but shifting at some point fairly soon to a something I learned about many years ago, but was never able to practice. And for those of you who have a problem with meditation, it's all practice. Practice is what gets me through that difficulty with not wanting to meditate or not being able to. As moderate to severe ADD means I have a whole lot of trouble sitting still for 15 or 20 minutes. It's not an easy, it doesn't come easy. But after years, literally years, recently, I'm able to do that and enjoy it. But
Good.
now, and I'm about to finish, now I finished that part with the substitution from the small universe meditation, sort of keep that is supposed to keep my mind busy and not bothering me so much, is that I meditate to what was told to me as a secret, but it's time for the opening of secrets now, is the ancient Hebrew word for God is Yahweh. That's supposed to be the most holy secret name of God that we're not supposed to speak because we're not good enough to do that. We're imperfect and we're dirty sinners and blah, blah, blah. So we're not supposed to speak that word. But that's a mistake. It's not evil. It's not immoral. It's a mistake because of linguistic constructions, not only on and all that stuff, that there's no such thing as Yahweh. It's not a word. It's not a thing. It represents that principle that we cannot speak. It's beyond human ability to speak it. It's not a 3-letter root that generates all the other Hebrew words. It's a 4-letter word by itself that doesn't mean anything because it's not a 3-letter root. It has no root. It contains everything, contains all the letters. So I connect it to my physical body by Yah is the in-breath. It breathes me, and Weh becomes I breathe through it. It is the way. It is the way of the order of the universe. It's very soothing and centering for me to focus on that. And sometimes I'll throw in, it's better to light a candle than to curse the dark, and all that. The whole candle metaphor, which is lovely. But anyway, that was what I got, and always I participate in this work. It's enlivening and empowering for me. So thank you, David.
Thank you, Robert. Oh, we always learn something new. So thank you. Marion.
Oops. Thank you. Eyes open, I'm with the candle. Eyes closed, and the feather floated in from the earlier part. So there I am with the candle and the feather, which, there could be a lot of story in there. Spend some time with that. Yeah. So thank you. Very cool.
Yeah. How did it feel to have them both in the same place?
There's a lot of energy in it. Yeah, a lot of energy. It can be playful. It can be destructive. It can be illuminating. It can be challenging. There's all of that. Where is the feather? How does it move? What happens to the rising of the heat? And how does that affect the floating of the feather? Yeah, a lot in there. Thank you.
Yeah. Are there others that would like to share about their experience? Michelle, and then we'll go to Lenny. Welcome, you're on camera now.
Hello. Yeah, I felt like I had a major experience with the feather as well. To that previous shorter meditation, yet with a candle, it was a different experience. Like there was a few parts. The first one, I was more like the liquid that was the wax, melted wax inside, being held by the candle. I wasn't the wick in any way. And then the whole thing was like a boat, and I was being carried.
Wow.
And the candle was the sail. And so, yeah, just traveling along. And then the flame was like a spirit watching over me. And just, which was, I didn't see that one coming. So that was really interesting. And the last bit was, I saw what the candle used to be in the amazing journey of life. Not where we're ending. It's everything that happened to get me to this point. So what I couldn't see came through from the image. So in that darkness behind, it's like a little film started to come through of everything in there. So that was mine.
It's quite a journey.
I know. Was it 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You win the farthest distance traveled in 5 minutes prize.
Yeah, I felt it.
Yeah, good for you. Lenny.
So I feel like our group was just getting started, and the meditation was a gateway and an opening. It was just beautiful to hear how everybody's perspective and experience was unique, and yet collectively we kind of ended up in the same place. And I brought my aging artist's eyes to the meditation, and I really was really looking closely, paying close attention to the candle. And I shared some things that I noticed that, and this is a good metaphor for aging, even though the candle, the wax is low, the flame shines as brightly as ever. The edges of the flame itself are soft, not hard. And you can poke it, you can move it, you can blow on it. If you don't blow too hard or squish it, it will keep burning. It's only if the wick is snuffed that the flame goes out. Even when the wax is completely melted, the wick can keep burning. And when you're looking at a picture of a candle, it'll never go out. So in our little group, I think Amola talked about lighting a candle. Actually, I am going to start lighting a candle at night to kind of do a settling of the day and a really peaceful kind of stuff. And then we talked about, the light being also destructive and the burning going on in the world. And we could bring all our individual candles together into something bigger and collective and disperse the shadows, because this is a time of collective shadow that we're living in. That's why I'm here today, to share that with people.
If you all could do this in 30 minutes, imagine if we had several days together, right? It would be fantastic. Yeah. In some sense, somebody else had their hand up, but maybe I missed something. Sherry, see?
Yeah, as Lenny was sharing what she was seeing, I actually went and lit a candle before, when you first showed or started talking about it. I went and lit one and brought it to me. And as she was thinking about or sharing the picture, I was thinking about initially, is there a glow until there isn't? Is there a warmth until there isn't? Is there a flame until there isn't? And that's what came up for me first.
Yeah.
And then thinking about the colors that can come from candle flame because of the different temperatures.
Mm.
And then my mind went analytical, but I won't go there now.
Okay.
And Sherry, we can see the flame just at the base
Yes, it's
of your,
quite, it's like
oh,
your
there
heart
you
is
go.
glowing. Yeah.
As you were sharing, it was peaking.
Yeah, it was very quite wonderful. Yeah.
So I'll sit with those for a while.
Okay. Mm. Mm.
As
Well,
Lenny was speaking, sorry that I jumped in. It's Imola.
no, Emma, go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead.
As Lenny was speaking, and I guess that this our group was like this, like generative. A lot of things came up, and as she said, we were just getting started. It felt like, but as she was speaking, what came to me is that the candle also generates a shadow, and that when I spoke about lighting a candle, that was indeed something that I did quite a lot over the past few months because I had two significant losses, and that was the candle was something that made me feel connected, made me feel not alone, made me feel warm, and that is how I thought of the candle. But every candle has a shadow as well, and yeah, and everything that is happening in the world is a war between light and shadow. Yeah.
Okay.
Just thinking out loud.
All
I'm really
good.
grateful to be in this space. Really, really, really grateful to be in this space.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah, Imola, thank you for sharing and just being in your presence. We can witness there's a lot with what you just said. So see you. Thank you for sharing. Mm.
So I'd started to say, so I was doing this while I was guiding you as well, or holding space for you all as well. And I wish I remembered my eighth grade science. I don't. I don't remember why the bottom of a candle is why the bottom of a flame is blue. So be pop quiz for anybody that remembers your science long enough to why it's blue. Um, but I was really drawn to that part of the flame because what it spoke to me about was um, that the sense of weariness I was feeling was really around the larger flame itself. And so my commitment to myself after doing the meditation was to just take good care of the blue part of the flame, which I interpreted as source. It's the closest to the beginning of the wick. And so we're making some big changes for things in my life, and but it was just really, I was really struck by the color, by the purity, by the energy that was there, and yeah, so that was what I sort of part of what I took from observing myself in the practice as well. Yeah, that was one of the pieces I took
Mary
away.
Jane, your cat's tail looks a bit like a wick.
Yeah.
Just saying. Oh,
David, since you asked, it occurs to me that as I remember, that the tip of the candle flame is the hottest part, the top, tip top, and the heat range from the base of the wick to the tip is begins with cooler and it gets hotter as it approaches the tip. And those different color changes indicate different components of the wax being burned.
Okay.
So spectrographic analysis is based on that.
Okay. And Mary Jane.
Hey, yeah. I like Lenny, I also had the thought in the meditation that of the heat at the end of the wick, that it doesn't matter that the candle's burning low, it still burns bright and with all of its energy, and it doesn't kind of deplete itself as it gets nearer to the bottom, and how it's almost like a sacrifice. But the other thing I wanted to share, I think Chad's gone now, but we kind of had this interesting question from him of, I think we were singing.
Oh. Right at the punchline, we lose Mary Jane.
Ourselves as being candles in our group, and he talked about, is there a difference between being blown out or burnt out?
Okay.
And then how there are no, can't remember her exact phrasing, so it's not looking backwards, it's not what could have been, but then I said, but sometimes the fear of being blown out again in the future can kind of hinder us from letting our flame burn.
Thank you. And Marion, you win a prize for the longest word ever in MI chat box.
And it means excited molecule.
I know. Not just average or boring, but excited carbon dioxide molecules. Excellent.
That might mean I'm blue.
That might be.
Oh, wait, I am blue.
You are blue. Now I know what I can aspire to be in my life. I want to be on my tombstone. Here lies an excited carbon dioxide molecule. Yeah. So we have a consensus that the blue is the hottest at the top. Is that what we're thinking? Or but the blue's at the bottom.
Well, it depends on where you define top. Robert was saying one thing and I'm seeing things in the other. So let's just look at the comments and
yeah, okay.
figure it out.
All right. Cool. Well, I'll have to look it up now.
Depending on where you stand, how you interpret it.
Okay, great. Well, I'll look into that later. I want to know now. So
the other thing, just noticing, practicing noticing, I'm delighted to be one of only 2 men in this group. And our other man, Chad, had to leave.
He drove off.
And it's not at all unusual for me to be the only member of a spiritual group in the male persuasion. So whatever that's worth, which may be nothing.
Okay, thanks.
Wow.
Somebody else was going to share?
Hamlet shared something.
Oh, Marion. Yeah, Marion.
The end of this explanation basically just disappeared. Well, it's a photon is released that creates the blue color.
Okay.
At the bottom of the flame. After the the carbon, it's done the carbon monoxide thing and the something else, and I don't even free radicals. Then the photon that shows the blue appears.
Okay. So now I get to be a free radical too. I like this. Even this is getting better and better.
Or radically great. I don't know which it is.
Yeah.
I've been a free radical all my life.
Yeah. Yeah. So we just have a little bit of time left. I'm curious now what all of this has brought up for you in terms of, some of you have already shared this, but maybe those who have not. Like, what are you taking away from the conversation, either from yourself or from what you've heard from others, that you're finding valuable for you? Like, what is speaking to you as you leave for yourself? Nikki.
Actually, it was something I was in the group with Robert, Karen, who's not here, but I was struck by the phrase, "This is just a candle," because all the stuff I was bringing to the candle, what's it saying to me, and all the narratives, the old stuck records, kind of came through with that staring at the candle. I've got to stop it burning out, strive, fix, that kind of thing. So the restfulness I feel just with that sentence, that this is just a candle, is really powerful. And I'm going to sit with it longer, carry it with me. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
And Robert, what are you taking with you? I don't know if you can hear me. Hmm. And thanks for sharing, Justine, in the chat box. Lots of good things in the chat box as well. Yeah. Anybody else want to share your parting words?
I have to acknowledge this work and this particular exercise as being enormously valuable to me. I am not quite out of, I have no idea how out of it I am, but I've just had about a month-long enormous traumatic experience with my best female friend, who was fortunately, formerly a romantic partner, but that dynamic did not work out. But we remain chosen family. We remain deeply in love with each other in a platonic way. And she has been going through the death of her current partner, life partner, who was her perfect partner, was her dream partner, way better than me even. But it was extremely traumatic for her in a number of different ways, other than just the loss. That would be enough. But the way it happened was also extremely traumatic, and the circumstances surrounding the cause of that horrible accident that was gory and traumatic that she witnessed in real time. And I've been with her a lot, spending the night many times during the last 3 to 4 weeks. And this community and that affirmation of my connection is enormously helpful to process that enormous pain that I share with her. Lesser extent, of course, but still, it's deeply wounded me as well. So thank you all for that.
Thank you. We're glad you could be here with us. Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah. And I'm sorry for yeah, I'm sorry. It's hard. Yeah. Michelle. Michelle moved. There she is. Zoom moved you to a different part of my screen, so I had to go find you again.
Oh no, um I was going to share, I was with January and Justin. I really appreciate our together and sharing. And what I took away was that sometimes our shadow, or like Justin say, like the uncomfortable feelings are part of us as well. So it's good to stay with it rather than running away from it.
Yeah.
But I actually lowered my hand when I heard what Robert said, because I can imagine it was very tough for that lady. So yeah.
Thank you. Fiona.
I just wanted to thank you for keeping this work open, to invite us to take a pause, to breathe. I know how to breathe, I know how to pause, I can do all, but when you provide a space for us to do that collectively, it's a powerful moment. So thank you again.
Thank you very much. The blue flame in me can hear that, so it's good. All right. Okay. Well, yeah, so if you like this kind of work and you want to do more of this, we do this every month for those of you who are new to us. And we've just started another group with our Guiding Lights Retreat. If that interests you, you can find out more on the website. We will do this every week in that space. But otherwise, I feel like we've come to a good close, so I'd like to stop. And thank you so much for your time. It means a lot to me that you've come.
Are
And
you offering this again next month?
always
Okay. Do you have a date already?
for the BCE for next month?
Yes.
I'm sure we do.
I'll look it up and I'll put it in the.
Karen, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's no worries, and it's also in the community center.
It's on the 13th of August.
You got it, David. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You're best. Thank you.
Yeah. So we do that every month.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. And I did post the link to the YouTube site, which is easy to find this recording and in the future when it's posted, but also the previous ones and other recorded pieces from David. So
okay.
Thank you, David.
Bye-bye.
All right. Be well.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good evening.
Good evening, Michelle.
Bye.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good evening.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Lenny. Bye, Robert.